We have our first exams in less than a month. Some are panicking, others are stressed, but I hope today's video can give you some ease as I'll bring you some tips on how to survive this mountain of exams. I'll be giving you some subject-specific advice, then some general tips. English literature. For English Lit, you really need to reread your books again. You will only have read it once in class, but you need to reread it again to refresh your memory about the book. Have your key quotes about each character and themes with analysis. Make sure you can also link it to context and any big ideas. You also need to do essay plans. For example, I do A Christmas Carol as one of the books I study, and I could get a question about Scrooge saying, how is he presented as an outsider to society? I would have all the strongest quotes about him that show this with analysis. Use multiple interpretations as well. It shows the examiner that you're being perceptive. This saves me so much time instead of writing out the whole essay, as my plan is basically what I'm going to write out in the exam, and the more detailed and well-structured my plan is, the better my essay. For poetry, know the key techniques for poetry and practice analysing and comparing different poems. English language. It really is just practice. You need to know how to answer each question. For example, I know that paper 1, question 2, you always need to analyse language, and the question is 8 marks, so I have about 10 to 12 minutes to complete this question. When I do past papers, I would say don't do the whole thing in one sitting. Break it down and do each question in time conditions, once again saving me time and making me feel less overwhelmed. Maths. Practice, practice and practice. It really just is that. Doing a little bit every day can make such a difference. Identify your weak topics and go over them before attempting questions. Do past papers as well. They help so much. Like, look how much I have. Please, please, please do them. Science. I do triple science, but these tips can apply to anyone who does combined as well. Go over your advanced information and look over the topics that you're going to be tested on. Highlight what your weakest topics are and go over them. Once you're solid with it, do exam practice. Especially for biology, the mark scheme is quite specific, so you need to nail your exam technique so you write what the examiner wants you to write, and let it be facts, not waffle. For history, blurting is a really helpful technique that I use. What I would do is I pick a topic in history and I write as much as I can remember about a topic, and then I check with my textbook and write down what I didn't remember, and I do this until it's in my brain. I would also recommend writing a timeline, as this helps organize the memory in my brain. I do Germany as a course for history, and I got lost when studying about Hitler because there were so many events that I needed to remember. But as soon as I used the timeline, it made things easier to remember. An exam technique is important as well. Don't forget to do that. I don't think a lot of people do this as a GCSE subject, but I'll still talk about it anyway. For sociology, blurting is very helpful as well. Knowing your key terms for sociology is very important, as it sets the foundation for many of your answers, so please know them well. And of course, exam practice is important as well. 12 markers make up 50% of your sociology grade, so you need to know how to answer them. Know your key sociologists as well, and any expanding ideas. Here are some general tips. Sleep. Don't force yourself to stay up a ridiculous amount. It's not good for you. Take care of yourself and your mental health. You come first. And know when you work best. I'm a morning person, so I like to get up in the morning. Duh. It helps with my productivity and I get more work done. And please don't stress out. GCSEs stand for General Certificate of Secondary Education. Emphasis on general. It's assessing your general knowledge, so please don't think you need to know everything inside out to get a good grade. You don't. And consistency is the key to success. Doing a little bit every day can make so much of a difference. You still have time to redeem yourself. The first best time to revise was yesterday. The second best time was today. So if you only took one thing from this video, you need to revise now. Adios.